Hey friends, Ash here, Gents. How you doing? The number of fragrances in front of me is too high. 25 fragrances today. We're going over 25 must-own scents if you're a beginner and you want to have just an amazing collection. These are all designers, and each one of these, I think, deserves a spot potentially in your collection. And this is part one. I'm gonna do a part two with 25 more designers and also tackle some niche and indie along the way too, in a future video anyway. There's so much to talk about. We don't have enough time. Let's jump into it. And obviously, it goes without saying, the absolute best must-own fragrances, those happen to be my fragrances. I'm not biased. It's legit. What are you talking about? My new ones just came out, Blue Ridge and Terra Nova, in collaboration with Michael Malul. I did the creative directive work on these, worked with a couple of amazeballs perfumers on these. Blue Ridge and Terra Nova, both amazing compliment pullers, so versatile, so wearable. And I'm blasting myself with these like 24/7. Legitimately, you wake up in the middle of the night and grab it and just blast myself in the face with it. It's the only way to live. Hypoallergenic, I don't know. So yeah, Blue Ridge, Terra Nova, absolutely love those fragrances. Check them out, link in the description. If you buy one, use the code GENTSCENTS, save yourself 20% off a bottle or bottles. And also did a video on those as well, where I go into more detail on them. All right, let's jump into it headlong. Dolce Gabbana is the one, Eau de Parfum. I feel like this is a fragrance everybody needs to have their nose on. Everybody has to smell this. Everybody has to be familiar with this. It is a monstrous compliment puller, a fantastic date night fragrance, great for fall and winter time, sweet, spicy, sexy. The tobacco in here, top notch as well. So the one Eau de Parfum, absolutely, in my opinion, is a must own. And there are some other great fragrances in this line you should check out. The one Luminous Night, the one Royal Night, the one Mysterious Night, all three of those are great. And the one Eau de Parfum Intense, very good as well. After that, Dior Sauvage. This is the Eau de Parfum. I feel like you gotta have at least one Sauvage. Now, a lot of people will tell you Sauvage Elixir, that's the one to get, and I'm not gonna argue that. That fragrance is sick. It's so sick. It's like flu pneumonia levels of sick. But Sauvage Elixir doesn't smell super like a Sauvage fragrance. If you smell it, you know what I'm talking about. Sauvage Eau de Toilette, Sauvage Eau de Parfum, those are the ones that people really think of as like the Sauvage DNA. And Sauvage Eau de Parfum is a little bit smoother than the Eau de Toilette, a little bit richer. So I'd go with that one. Though if you're just trying for maximum attention grabbing, then the Eau de Toilette might work better. Then I feel like you gotta have an Acqua di Gio. So of course the one I'm gonna pop in here is Acqua di Gio Profondo, because that one is my personal favorite. Modernization of the Acqua di Gio DNA, aquatic and fresh with green nuances and undertones, a little bit of a minerality to it as well. Acqua di Gio Profondo, one of those great fragrances to pull out and wear anytime. It works legitimately just as well during the winter as the summer, even though most people would say that it's a summertime, daytime fragrance. Now, if Profondo was not your style, you could go, Profumo, you could go Acqua di Gio Eau de Parfum, but I feel like you gotta have at least one Acqua di Gio. Next up, Carolina Herrera CH Privé. Really good boozy fragrance. Another one great for fall and winter time. Overlooked nowadays. It was a big hype beast for a time, but it doesn't get the love that it used to, of course, because new things have come out and kind of replaced it in the hype hierarchy, but it still works amazingly well. The stuff is a great compliment puller, and the bottle is cool too. So CH Privé, pick this one up while the getting's still good. Let's swing back to Dior really quickly and get this one out of the way. Dior Homme Intense. Now this is a personal favorite of mine, so of course I'm gonna work it into this list. The Iris in here is to die for. Not legitimately, don't actually die for it, but it smells so good that make you think crazy things. The Iris is creamy, it's sweet. Some people would say makeup-y or lipsticky, but it's a fantastic fragrance, top-notch formal scent. Another one that's very good for fall and winter time. After that one, a bit of a cheapie, Missoni Wave. This fragrance smells similar to Chanel Allure Homme Sport and also Versace Pour Homme, but it's cheaper than those fragrances, and I think the presentation actually looks nicer. It has a magnetic cap, so instantaneous boost. You can give me a fragrance that's a 7 out of 10, show me as a magnetic cap, and I'm like, it's like an 8.5. Yeah. Nice performance, fresh, aquatic, slightly sweet, really easy to wear, quite versatile, and once again, another good compliment puller. This one can be a staple of your collection in spring, summer, and early fall. Throw it back a little bit, Fierce, Abercrombie and Fitch. Yes, the fragrance that is most famous for having a dude pulling his pants down in your face on the bottle. Oh wait, that's not what it's most famous for? I don't know, could have fooled me. It is though one of the kings of versatility, one of those fragrances that for a time was inescapable. Anywhere you went, you were gonna get slapped in the face with Fierce, and you were gonna like it or else. And of course it is so popular that there are a lot of other fragrances out there that smell similar to Fierce. Stuff like Montblanc Legend Eau de Toilette probably being the most prominent example. But that one is a certified compliment monster. It's a classic. It's one that you have to either own or be aware of. After that one, Prada Lunarosa Black. Another personal favorite of mine, and I think that this stands out even more so today amongst all the other designer fragrances out there than when it first came out. Because when it first came out, you had in the back of your mind Bulgari Black, Midnight in Paris from Van Cleef & Arpels, which are now discontinued and much more expensive than they used to be, because those two were pretty cheap at discounters and now they're crazy expensive. So at the time this was released, it wasn't that far removed from when Midnight in Paris and Bulgari Black started to go away off the market. And so it was like, yeah, this smells really good, very wearable, you know, a little bit dark, a little mysterious, sexy. Some would even say slightly rubbery smelling, but in a good way. But you could compare it to those other fragrances. But now they're long, long gone, and there's nothing that's really come out since then, designer-wise, that has this type of scent profile. So this will stand out really well against what other people are wearing. Well, let's stick with Prada. Prada L'Homme, I feel like you got to get this one. So Iris once again, but not at all like Dior Homme Intense. Dior Homme Intense, that's makeup-y, creamy, lipsticky, you know, much more of a density to it. A lot of people say this is one of the best office fragrances for men that you can buy on the market. I think the Prada L'Homme line is outstanding, but unfortunately, Prada doesn't feel that way. I guess maybe it didn't sell quite up to their expectations or whatever. And so you can still get Prada L'Homme. You can find this at stores. You can find this at discounters. Pretty much all the ones that came after it. Prada L'Homme Intense, unfortunately, being the biggest casualty. Those you really can't find so much, but this one you still can. Let's go Chanel next. Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. So this one, if you were gonna get just one Allure Homme Sport fragrance from the line and you wanted it to keep with that Allure Homme Sport style, that DNA where it's recognizable right away, this is the one I would get. Versatility here through the roof. You can wear it anytime, anywhere, any place. Just adjust your sprays up or down. Has this great creamy citrus to it. Wonderful release. Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme for sure. The one that I'd go with. Emporio Armani Stronger With You. This is the original Stronger With You. I think though, you just need to get one from the line. So Stronger With You, the original, is going to be the easiest one to find. That's why I'm including it here. Stronger With You Intensely, Stronger With You Absolutely, especially. That's my favorite. And then Leather Edition, Oud Edition, all those very good. Nice gourmandy feel to it, like an almost edible quality to it. This glazed chestnut or toffee, depending on the fragrance you're talking about in the line, is really what makes it. It gives it this warmth, this sweetness, and this sex appeal. Let's go blue fragrance next. Why EDP? From YSL. So this competes with Sauvage, it competes with Bleu de Chanel. It's that type of fragrance anytime, anywhere, any situation. You can wear it and you can be confident that people are gonna like it. The performance is there. The opening, I think, smells fantastic with this apple that it has, gives it a nice twist as compared to a lot of other blue fragrances. And as it dries down, you have a very safe but very appealing amberwood dry down, which is masculine and modern. After that, gotta include this. Drakkar Noir. Get a bottle. Stuff is crazy cheap. I mean, yes, the packaging is crazy cheap, but it's always been like this. Slight changes in the design, but I mean, the bottle itself, I mean, it's always gonna be like this. A lot of people will say Drakkar Noir is too dated, it's old, it's this, it's that, it's the other thing. I still love Drakkar Noir. I don't care what you say, except for you, person who agrees with me that Drakkar Noir is awesome. I do appreciate that. This is an 80s classic. It's not quite as powerful as it used to be, but when I smell it, it still puts me in a good mood. This is one of the first fragrances I ever rocked back when I was in like 3rd grade. Drakkar Noir, absolutely killer. And it does have a fleeting similarity to Sauvage Elixir. Do not quote me as saying that Drakkar Noir is the same as Sauvage Elixir, just a fleeting similarity. After that, Terre d'Hermes. Yep, just the OG Terre d'Hermes. This one very classy, gentlemanly. It has a flinty earthiness to it, especially off the top, that some people will find off-putting. Personally, I like it a lot. It has this dirty orange aspect to it. Dries down to feature vetiver prominently, which is one of my favorite notes. It is one of those fragrances that will have you smelling like $1 million, in my opinion. This is a great office scent, a great formal situation fragrance or business fragrance. Up next, Montblanc Explorer. That's right. This is Aventus Jr. This is Aventus's little son. Oh, that's nice there. Look at you. You look like your dad. It's like a designer take on Creed Aventus. It's not as smoky as Aventus. It's got more of that ambroxany kind of feel to it. Nice freshness in the opening, nice fresh spice as well. Bergamot, very appealing in this one. Versatility, once again, through the roof. A lot of these are extremely versatile. And from discounters, very affordable. So it's a great scent to get you in that Aventus frame of mind, but not break the bank. Let's keep it with another black bottle. Bulgari Man in black. This one, a bit similar to Spice Bomb by Viktor and Rolf, but it has a nice booziness to it that's added in, a rum note. So you have spice, you have leather, you've got booze. It's a perfect scent for wintertime. Performance is there. Compliment factor is here. A lot to love about this scent. The first time I smelled this, I was absolutely blown away. And let's go with another black bottle. Heck with it. Tom Ford Ombre Leather, one of Tom Ford's most popular fragrances on the market nowadays. It's an extremely wearable leather scent. That's one of the things that a lot of people are drawn to the fragrance for. A lot of times leather scents can be intimidating because they can smell dirty or animalic or off-putting. And, you know, especially when you're talking Tom Ford prices, your average person doesn't want to pay that much money to have a fragrance that makes them smell frankly gross to a lot of people. And this one definitely does not smell gross. It's got a nice sweetness to it, a softness to it, a wearability to it. Good performance as well. Ombre Leather, one of the go-to leather scents for a lot of people out there, and one that you definitely need to be familiar with. Let's go with the Code next. I'm gonna go Code Absolute because that's my favorite. But I think once again, kind of like with Acqua di Gio, you just need to figure out which one works best for you personally because there are a lot of options out there. If you wanted a fresher one, you could go Code Colonia. Code Profumo is a little bit more youthful than this one, also a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more powerful. If you wanna stick more toward like the original Code DNA, you could of course go with the Eau de Toilette or the Eau de Parfum or the new Parfum. Between those three, I'd probably go Parfum myself. It's got a nice freshness off the top, which helps offset some of the darker notes of Code. So definitely try them out, try the Code line out, find out which one works for you, but I think you should own one. It's a very important line unless you just hate them all and then, you know, heck with it. Code Absolute though, as I said, my favorite. Great, sparkly, effervescent opening like a carbonated soda. It smells awesome. Really nice sweetness to it. Great compliment puller. Let's class things up a little bit with the next one. Pacha de Cartier Parfum. So this one has a little bit of an old school aesthetic to it, a little bit of a throwback to it. Smells slightly similar to the original Pacha de Cartier. It has this slight barbershop-y quality to it. Very classy, gentlemanly, elegant, leans a little bit more mature than most of these fragrances here today. And it has a wonderful woodiness and a little booze sprinkled on top. So Pacha de Cartier Parfum, check that one out. Now let's go a little more youthful leaning with this next one. Invictus Legend from Paco Rabanne. With the Invictus line, if I were recommending one to somebody who's never smelled any of the fragrances, I would probably say Invictus Aqua or this one. If you want to keep it with that Invictus DNA still right there front and center. I think for me anyway, the original Invictus, I wouldn't go with that one. I think that the flankers improved on the idea of that scent, but it is a scent profile that is out there everywhere. You smell fragrances all the time with a little bit of that Invictus to them. So it's a fragrance line you need to be aware of, that you need to be cognizant of. And I think keeping it more toward the original Invictus side of things, that Invictus Legend would be the one to go with. After that, Azzaro Wanted by Night. Though if you did want to switch it up and go more modern and lean more into like the Stronger With You side of things with that gourmandy, sweet, sexy side of things, you could go with the Most Wanted or the Most Wanted Parfum. But I'm going to say Wanted by Night. It is cheaper. It's more affordable at discounters anyway. Not very expensive at all. Presentation looks nice, like all the wanted fragrances. It's got a very nice spiciness, little smokiness to it, some dried fruit as well. In my opinion, it actually smells quite unique in the designer realm. The quality is awesome for the price you pay, and the versatility in cool weather is right up there with the best. So Wanted by Night. After that, Le Male Parfum. Pretty much everybody seems to love this. It modernizes the Le Male DNA, which is one of the most popular fragrances ever for men, and adds Iris, which is a great touch because I'm a sucker for Iris. Another one that in cool weather will get you noticed, will get you attention, will have you smelling like $1 million. This stuff you got to check out. Let's go a little more Iris. This is the last Iris fragrance here. Gentleman Eau de Toilette Intense. This is a fresher take on that creamy style of Iris. So this isn't, full on powdery, soapy, clean, fresh, but it's also not like heavy makeup lipstick. It's in between, leaning more toward the lipstick side of things, just in a, as I said, fresher way. So if you're hankering for some Iris and you don't want to go with something real heavy, and it's in spring or early fall or something like that, or even summer if you want to dial the sprays back a little bit, something like this, man, it'll have you smelling awesome and way different than everybody else out there. Then Coach Platinum after that, another cheap one from discounters. This is a anytime fragrance, one of those deals that you basically get this bottle and you can spray it on any time of year, daytime, nighttime, any situation, it's gonna work. Some people find it a little bit similar to Dior Sauvage. It's not like super close to Sauvage, but it does have this fuzzy, modern ambroxany cashmere and vibe to it. It's got pepper in here, vanilla as it dries down, and I believe pineapple in the opening. So it gives you a slight different take in the opening as compared to a more typical citrus. And also the original Coach for Men, a great buy from discounters for cheap. And the last fragrance, Spice Bomb Extreme. If I were gonna recommend just one Spice Bomb, this would be the one because it has that original Spice Bomb DNA in here so you can get familiar with the line, but it's not as in your face as the original. Still has awesome performance, but it's smoothed out a little bit, and the additional vanilla in here I think takes it to the next level. Smells perfect in the winter. And it is a huge compliment puller. So there we go, 25 designer fragrances I think everybody needs to know. Each one of these, you should know how it smells. As I said, I'll work on another one for some more designer fragrances, and also we'll tackle some niche in the future as well. Thank you all for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. See you again tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.